Hello, beautiful people. I am, as always, super excited for this week's video because last week I talked about 5 reasons to get and keep your money right. And that kind of made me think about something as well, and that was retirement. I have my own views on retirement, but I thought that since we're getting and keeping our money right, and we're putting our financial house in order, it is equally important that we really start to think about our retirement and what does that look like, right? And then from there, I started thinking about, you know what, a lot of people kind of are given the same general retirement advice, and they are put in this box, right? But the truth is, we should start to create our own retirement and decide what our retirement actually looks like. And let me tell you, that took me down a rabbit hole, but we're gonna discuss 5 reasons why every person should start to create their own retirement. First things first, as I mentioned before, retirement seems to just be kind of like this little box that everybody gets put in. You're gonna retire at 65 or at 67, and you're going to have this amount of money when you're done, and you have to live off of that for the rest of your life. And my whole thing is, why? That just seems silly and ridiculous and very limiting, when if we're really walking in alignment with our purpose and what we're supposed to do and the things that God's put on our hearts, why would we limit ourselves financially in the future? Like, make that make sense. With that being said, I think that when we choose to create our own retirement, we are choosing what we want our future to look like, the impact that we want to have, and we ensure that we are staying on track with our purpose. So that when we're done working and grinding, we don't have to live a life that's mediocre and out of alignment. Like, this just makes sense to me. What about for you guys? It makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Okay, so the first reason that we should create our own retirement is because no one else is going to care about our future as much as we are going to care about our future. And this is whether you choose to invest traditionally and kind of, be within that box and establish your retirement for your future, or whether you choose to do something different when it comes to retirement. Either way, doesn't matter. Either way, no one else is going to care about your future like you will. And I think that's really important. That goes back to responsibility and us taking ownership of our lives and our choices. But that is the first reason that we should start to create our own retirement, is because we know the future that we want to create, and we know the life that we want to live, and we are going to be responsible for that and not entrust someone else who doesn't care about our lives as much as we do with our future. This to me is just a simple, I should take control of my life. All right, the second reason is because no one else is going to know the future that you want to create like you will, which means no one else is going to know how to create that future except for you. And again, it's really important that we stay in control of what our future is, our purpose, our intentions, in order to make our future become a reality. Because if we give that to someone else, they don't necessarily know how to do it. They may not see the vision, and in giving advice on how to make money, earn more money, to invest that money, to receive a specific rate of return, all of that, they are judging it based off of their own thinking and an idea of what they think we want, as opposed to us, who knows exactly what we want, and we know the type of risks we're willing to take to get it and to make it happen. That's my piece. I just feel like no one else is going to know how to bring our vision and our ideas into reality and turn our dreams into something that's real better than us. That's why God gave us our dreams. That's why he gave us the vision, is because we are supposed to turn it into reality. And when it comes to money and finances and making sure that we are taken care of as we get older, when it comes to retirement, it is equally important that we are in alignment with our vision and our purpose, and that we figure out how to sustain that, not just currently, but also in the future for ourselves when we retire and even after that. Next, no one else is going to be willing to put in the time, energy, and effort into your future like you will. I know that kind of seems a little repetitive, but it's really important to grasp, especially when it comes to our retirement. It is just something that no one else is going to put in the work like we are going to put in the work for ourselves. When we decide to create our own retirement, we are then giving ourselves flexibility in our retirement age as well as our lifestyle. And that is such a beautiful thing. Retirement at that point can look like and be whatever we want it to be. And that's really cool. Another big reason to create your own retirement is that it allows for us to avoid these silly rules that the government has laid out. I know that seems a little presumptuous, but I personally find it very silly that the government says, hey, we're going to penalize you and tax you extra if you withdraw your money out early, or if you do something with your money that you want to do outside of what we deem acceptable. Like, I beg your pardon, it's my money. And I think that it's really cool because when we start to create our own retirement and based off of the tax code and the rules that the government has set out, we are often able to avoid certain penalties. We're often able to gain certain tax benefits, and we're able to avoid like other things that the government puts out there, like all the changes and the different, like, oh, we're doing this now, and this isn't grandfathered in, so now you have to pay this penalty, or you have to pay this tax, or this is a new thing and we're figuring out how to regulate it. And all of these boxes and limitations that the government wants to put you in, when we start to create our own retirement in different and specific ways, we just avoid all of that. And I think that is a very beautiful thing, since it's my money, you know? Next, depending on what vehicles you use to establish and create your own retirement outside of the traditional advice, another benefit is that we are able to protect ourselves from inflation and the rising cost of living. And let's keep it 100. Right now, spring of 2020, we clearly are seeing inflation and the cost of living going up. And if we can hedge against this, it not only is beneficial for us when we retire, but it is also very beneficial for us present day. And so it becomes a win-win. I love it. When we decide to create our own retirement, we are able to retire on our own terms, and we don't have to rely on anyone else. More specifically, we don't have to rely on the government. I personally feel like that is so beneficial. There are good things about government and there are bad things about government. And what I don't want ever, and I think if everyone honestly thinks about it, other people don't want this either, is a bureaucrat far away that doesn't know us, that doesn't know the lifestyle we live, the desires of our hearts, our purpose, the dreams and goals that we have, to make decisions for us about our income and the money that we are allowed to receive, based off of a budget that they're trying to create or put together. It just blows my mind. And so it allows for us to not have to worry about that at all. And we don't have to rely on the government, or anyone else. When we have set ourselves up properly and we have our own retirement, we don't have to depend on our children, though I do think children should honor their parents. We don't have to depend on friends. We don't have to depend on other family members. We really get to have that freedom and live life on our terms without being dependent on someone else. And that is such a blessing for ourselves as well as to our loved ones and those that we care about. Okay, the final reason that you want to create your own retirement is because it allows for us to increase our financial literacy and our confidence, which has an effect on ourselves and future generations, which is amazing. Talking about leaving a legacy, it's not just the finances that you're leaving, but it is indirectly the effect that we have on those around us and those that are not around us. People are able to see and be inspired by us living our purpose and doing the things that God has called us to do. And they're able to see that because we set things up according to our purpose, our goals and dreams, and the vision that God has given us, instead of just staying in a box and waiting for the next 40, 50 years. It totally excites me and geeks me out. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.